I do need to make more of a habit of like talking about every book I read because there seems to be this trend where like I finish a book and then immediately move on to the next one and without really like thinking about like what I want to say if I want to make content on it. I've seen people speculate that like, oh, how much does he read actually? I read quite a lot, truth be told, and so I do need to make more of a habit of like talking about books instantly as I finish them and like making time to do it and to remember because like I finished The Coral Island a couple of days ago and I came away with like very strong positive feelings towards it. And I'd released statements, talking about like how I wasn't sure how much I liked it and things of that nature. But in the end, I really did enjoy it. And it's like, I should be talking about this kind of thing. Hot take Harmon Smith books. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Harmon Smith, the BookTuber, is live. So what we're seeing now uh, with the Coral Island, it is not something I had heard of before, which is very, very interesting because I read a book that was inspired by it, Lord of the Flies. Lord of the Flies, of course, is one of those books that, like, high school teachers shove in your face and say is really deep and profound. And eventually you grow up and realize that it's completely retarded. Okay. I actually looked at my my Goodreads account and I realized that, like, I gave it, like, 3 stars when I last read it, or maybe it was lower than that actually. Well, like I read this book and I didn't like it. Lord of the Flies on rereads, like it makes less and less sense. Like the more you think about the premise and the setup and the resolution, like it just comes off like statist propaganda. Like, oh yeah, you need an authority figure to do the right thing and be a good person. That's kind of like the implication of Lord of the Flies is that like everyone is like this. Everybody needs to be subjugated by the government and told what to do in order to become to be a good person. It's weirdly malicious and propagandist in that way. I would argue it's like the woke aspect of it. The thing that the reason why it's such a staple in classrooms is to try and like create this illusion that like you wouldn't be able to survive in this situation, that you wouldn't be able to excel, that it's simply not possible. A situation like this would result in infighting and eventually everything would collapse until like some authority figure swoops in and saves you.